back to the number one podcast for sports and anything related. My name is Andrew, and I have my friends here, Kylie and Tosin, and we are the podcast.
Hey guys,
Proper intro that one.
Come on. I think that's a
welcome
good
back,
intro.
welcome back. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
because you did it right, so yeah,
now let's do it right.
Yeah. How's
yeah,
everyone,
so
man?
yeah, I'm good. Just out here enjoying the Olympics. It's coming to an end pretty soon, so
Yeah.
yeah, so far so good.
What about you, Andrew? Honestly, I feel like you've been like the one on this team that has been the most locked in, like with the Olympics and everything. You've kept us up to date with every single game. I think you've watched almost every single sport as well. So, you know, how's your take been on the Olympics so far?
Can you guys hear me?
Of
Yeah,
course.
Okay. For me, Olympics has been honestly very entertaining. I think the timing works perfectly with me because when I wake up, the Olympics is starting. I wake up at like 6 a.m. most days, so Olympics starts immediately you wake up. And because of how Canada has given us like free Olympics, essentially, you can just wake up and turn on CBC and you have Olympics, right? So for me, that I've been following it, my app and on my phone and on my TV, I just literally just dial in. Um, I've watched a plethora of random sports throughout the Olympics, but honestly, basketball has been so entertaining in all forms. The 3-on-3 basketball, which is like what you play on like half court,
yeah,
and like the
Yeah.
full court basketball too has been entertaining, like in general. But for the full court basketball, for the main basketball, it's been a lot of talking points in my opinion, and I feel like me personally, I feel like Wemby might might take them to the gold. I feel the USA is still very shaky,
Hmm.
and Serbia kind of exposed them in the last game in the semifinals. Uh, and yeah, I can't wait for the finals. I can't wait to see what happens with the home crowd on Wembley's back. The home crowd in France is insane. This is European crowd. This is not Dallas or some random city. This is like proper crowd. Like the stadium is shaking. So I can't imagine what it will be like for the finals. But yeah, I just can't. It's been exciting all around for me.
I think Serbia were just fought. If I'm being very honest, like I don't think there's anything they did to necessarily expose the US. They just had a very very good game. Like they played near perfect basketball,
Shooting.
and the thing with basketball is at the end of the day, if I'm making my shots, it doesn't matter who you have on your team. It's one possession at a time at the end of the day, right? And even if you have LeBron, KD, Booker, all those guys, it's still one basket they have to score per possession, right? So I think they just really, really pushed them to the limit. But it was a really good game, and Serbia is obviously a very, very good team, right? And sometimes it takes a very good team beating a very talented team, and I feel like that's what we saw on display in that game.
Yeah, and I think everyone knows that USA are obviously like the favorites to win, and like most teams come with the point to prove. It's not like USA are not ready, but I feel like most teams that play against them come with so much more like motivation, so much more. Um, I'll say like grit because they want to be the team that beats the US. Like I feel like if they didn't even win the finals, like Serbia, for example, they would just be so happy about the fact that they're able to beat the US because they're the team to beat. They have the most talented players. So just seeing Serbia like put up that kind of fight against the US and it going all the way down to like literally like the fourth quarter, like like the last
4 minutes.
2 minutes, like it was still like a 2 point
Yeah,
game,
like
1 point
last
game
two,
at
three
some point,
minutes.
last two,
Yeah.
three minutes. So just seeing that level of competition from Serbia was amazing, honestly. And I like the fact that they pushed USA to like their limit. Like they brought out some of the best basketball we've seen from Curry, LeBron, Kevin Durant. Like just seeing that trio like actually take the team home. I didn't think it would go that far, but it all makes sense now why they assembled a team like that. So
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean, shout out to
There was
Embiid
a
too.
Embiid for
yeah,
sure.
Embiid. That reminds me, Embiid made a statement today, and he said he might not play for the US in the next Olympics.
Yeah,
He said he might
we
play for
all know
the
he just came for the gold, bro.
And it's just like, bro, you just expose yourself before the finals. Don't say anything. Just stop talking.
Embiid, like I feel like he takes that whole like he's a troll thing too seriously. Because sometimes, honestly, you just need to shut up. Like, why are you?
Focus
You're
on the
about to
game.
play in the finals. Why are you letting us know that you're not going to play in the next one? Like, who cares? Like, just
Even if a reporter asks you that question, just be like, "Oh, I can't comment on that now," or just ignore it.
literally,
Like no one is forcing you,
Yeah, whereas like all my focus right now is on the final. Like, I'm not thinking about
bro.
what next. Do you get what
yeah.
I'm saying?
And I bet you he's gonna jump ship if, by any chance, France wins in the finals. For sure, he's jumping ship. Like,
No,
perfect opportunity for him
honestly,
to do
I
that.
actually think if they win, I feel he won't. If I mean if France win, that is right. If France should win, I think he won't in that position because at that point it's just very silly, and chances that France win back to back or win again is lower because USA will be coming with more vengeance. I feel USA winning for him is like, okay, I've gotten my gold, I've gotten what I came here for,
Now
and
let me help. Let me go and play
now
for
let
my
me move
country.
on and go and play to play where I should actually be playing. Because I feel like when the moment he went to the US, like my first thing was this guy is obviously just, I guess, ring chasing, quote unquote, right? Where it's like, bro, like the only reason you join the US is because you want to win. You get what I'm saying? And so for him to now even let us know that he's open to leaving the US just shows us that he really was just come here to win. And once he has gotten that gold medal, he's now going to go play for somewhere else, and which is kind of that. I don't know. That just sums up Embiid to me,
I
sure.
don't know.
What
Does
do
the
you,
gold medal like change anything for Embiid's career per se? Like when we look at him from like an NBA
Nah,
perspective, like
not really.
but
Not
what?
in my
Wait,
opinion.
hold on. As a basketballer, he
yeah.
has not won anything.
Okay.
So it doesn't
I'm just
matter.
wondering. I'm just wondering. I
He
think
has not won anything, and there's a chance he might not win anything in the NBA.
yeah, maybe
So
I
this
think he
is
won
something.
MVP. He won MVP, right?
I mean,
Like
like a
Yeah,
tournament.
oh, like okay,
yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just curious because like the idea of him joining the USA to win the gold and then switching over, it's not like going to look at him from like a different light, be like, oh wow, this guy won the gold medal. Like he must be like a top this or top that. Like
yeah,
No,
we
I
we
think it's
already
just
know
like
that.
for the history books. Because
Fair
as
enough.
at the end of the day, if you also look at like back in the days, like the Dream Team, there's players there that did not win any ring, but they won an Olympic
yeah.
Olympics.
medal. So in the
Yeah,
history
yeah.
book, they will always be there.
Be
That's
there,
the
yeah.
kind of
Olympian vibe, and
at
and I
least
feel like
yeah, they have
that's
something.
that's why Corey also is here, right? Because Corey going into the Olympics or leading up to the Olympics this year, like he just kept talking about how he has never gone to the Olympics with the US, I think, and then
Yeah.
he has never won any medal for the US, and that was his own motivation. Where it's like, you know, I want to be able to say I have a gold medal, with Team USA. So it's a big thing for those guys, right? And personally, I don't want the US to win. If I'm being honest, I want them to wipe them. But Corey is the only reason I'm just like, for the sake that Corey hasn't won a gold medal, it'd be
Wow.
nice for him to have one. Do you get what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
it's
That's it.
funny.
Like Draymond Green has one, LeBron has one. Like all these guys have one. So I'm like, oh yeah, Corey should get one. So that would be nice. But outside of that, yeah, bro, I'm all for them wiping Team USA, man. I'm even like,
Yeah. I was about to say something with regards to Team USA. What do you guys think about the literal NBA champion, the best player in Boston Celtics, literally going to games, not even putting on his jersey? Like the guy is wearing like tracksuits. Especially in the semifinals, he wasn't prepared to even come off the bench. He was wearing tracksuit all through.
I would say that Jason Tatum, like just coming off the last finals, what we saw, like he's obviously earned the right to play in that team. But the players that are playing over him currently are either like they've just earned their stripes more, like consistently. Like obviously, like in his position, we have players like Kevin Durant. We have I don't know, like if you're gonna play Tatum in like the four, like the three, we're looking at like
Wait, hold on.
yeah, for sure.
Sorry,
No, go
don't
ahead.
cut you short, but in their game against can't remember the country that they played, but they were
Hmm.
winning. They were up by over 20 points.
Hmm.
It doesn't matter who you're playing at that point, right?
Yeah,
In NBA, you can put your bench team, you can put your reserves. Why is Tatum not playing?
he's played. No, he's played a few games. He's played a few games, but like I mean, I feel like in the critical ones, when you're looking at like a player that can just fit into a system. Like for example, a lot of the players that are being played over Jason Tatum, like if we wanted to break it down, you can just throw them into a team. Like Jason Tatum is used to being like the main guy on a team. Like that's how he has played his entire career. Like I understand why they didn't bring in Jalen Brown as well, because he's also like this. I don't want to say a system type of player, but they're used to playing a certain type of basketball where they have the ball in their hands a lot. But the team already has a lot of players like that. That's why you can just slot in someone like Devin Booker, who doesn't really need the ball, but he can still get a shot up. You can have someone like Kevin Durant, who can literally do that within any team. Like they don't need to have the ball; they can do one or two things and make an impact. They don't just stand around waiting for threes, right? But with Jason Tatum, I don't know how you plug him into a team and he just like fits in automatically because he's so used to being like a dominant player with the ball. So like that's my take.
Yeah, I think that that makes sense. Because obviously, like you're not in the matches that US has been playing, the player that's held the ball the most is LeBron. So
Yeah,
Tatum's not coming to come and collect the ball from LeBron. Like that can't happen. So I think it's just a problem for for Steve Kerr at the end of the day to find that balance and all that. I low key feel like that's what Real Madrid will face this coming year, but that one is a
Yeah.
different
I don't know. For me, you guys already know how I feel about Tatum, right? I don't think, I feel like, and obviously, I won't say Kerr is right to bench him or anything, but I don't think he has much of a shout for any of those players that are getting minutes over him. Do you get what I'm saying? And so every point that Tosin has made, he's a ball heavy type of player, and I don't think that's what the USA needs right now. The other side of it too is like, if you look at Tatum, if you want to use the final as a sample size or even like the more recent months, he's also a high volume shooter and all that, right? So it's like you're not getting the chance to put up 25 shots every time you're on the court for for Team USA, and he's not exactly a, what will I call it, like a ball distributor or anything. So it's like really and truly, like there's nothing he's bringing to Team USA that they don't already have, in my opinion, right? And I feel at the end of the day, he's one of the younger players on that team. When at least when you're looking at the likes of Curry, LeBron, and the rest, and these guys are not going to be there next Olympics. So coming next Olympics, chances are Tatum is the main guy there, where the team is now more built around him. So, bro, he can't wait, man.
yeah, and honestly, like if people bring on like the topic of like Anthony Edwards, because Anthony Edwards is going to be the main guy on the next Olympics, Kai. I don't think he's going to be Jason Tatum. Like I
Yeah,
feel
that's
like
fair.
we've given not we've given, but Jason has had a few chances to like kind of like just take that NBA like face of the NBA type, you know, status, and he hasn't done it. And now we've now moved on to the point where like Anthony Edwards could be that guy. Like we can see him being that guy. Jason Tatum has had like 4 or 5 years. Fair enough, he just won the NBA Finals, but he wasn't the MVP. And we all watched the series, and we know that he didn't play like amazingly well.
Yeah,
So like it's not like oh he's had like an outstanding season, like this could top off like the season for him. Nah, like you won the NBA Finals. It was a team win. There was another MVP that's not even on the roster. So like what can you really say in this
yeah,
situation, right? So
yeah,
honestly, I think the only reason why he's on the team is like honorary, right?
for sure.
yeah,
To just get
yeah,
that gold medal. There isn't any crazy thing. But yeah, hopefully the finals turn out the way we all expect, and the
yeah, for
USA
sure,
does
for
not
sure.
win.
I want just for the record, I do want the USA to win. Like
Yeah,
Why?
France.
it's a win-win situation for me, whichever way it goes.
Yeah, like
So
I like honestly for me, I feel like it's just another cherry on top of the cake for like LeBron, them KD. Like it's like I think it'll be a beautiful moment. I think they went through like a difficult semifinal to win it in Paris, France, whatever. Like I think that would just be like a crowning moment for all of them in their careers, right? Because we do see how three of them could play together on a team, and I don't know, it's an exciting time for the USA as well. And they just lost in FIBA to Germany, so that would be like a lot
yeah,
for
yeah,
the USA to lose in basketball.
for
Right.
sure.
Football, they they fielded
Saint kids.
their youth team. So
But yeah, and
Was Tatum on that team?
no,
Sorry,
no, they
he
don't
wasn't.
cannot be on FIBA. It was Anthony Edwards that was the best player
yeah,
on FIBA.
Halliburton, all those
So
guys. Yeah.
even Halliburton is he's there also as
Yeah,
an honorary.
Oh
why
yeah,
is he
of
on this
course now.
team? Why is he on
The
this
guy is
team?
just there on the bench shouting. That's
Yeah.
the only reason.
But the thing is like because the thing is at the end of it they can't put 12 senior men there because
Yeah,
some people will bench, so they need to have people that they can bench and would be okay with being on the bench
for
because
sure.
you get what I'm saying,
Yeah.
Yeah,
right?
makes
Last thing, because I was looking at like Damian Lillard like posting about like the USA and the fact that he was watching the game. I'm like, why isn't this guy there? But then it made sense because like if Damian Lillard is there, like you're gonna have to split up Curry's time and like split up everyone's time. It's not
Booker
gonna
won't play.
yeah. So like
There's
it
players
only
that
made
won't play.
sense
So
for
yeah.
sure. But yeah,
Yeah.
Okay, so let's move on to Olympic soccer. Olympic soccer just finished today.
yep.
So far, like what? Okay, I think we should start from like the semi-finals, right? Because from semi-finals was just interesting upward. I'm not saying before the semi-final wasn't interesting, but from semi-finals the games became more captivating. Semi-finals, the two ends was France against Morocco and Egypt against Spain. Was it? Oh, Egypt against Morocco. Sorry, Spain, Morocco, France, Egypt. Yeah, I think one of the two. I
Yeah.
can confirm. But anyways, both games were amazing. And now they've gone into the finals, and France played Spain. Uh, what do you guys think about the finals?
Honestly, that's probably one of the most interesting finals I've ever watched. Like a final that has 8 goals is always going to be an insane finals, right? And I think that's the first time anyone scoring 5 goals in an Olympic final as well. There was, they went up 3-1, they came back 3-3 at home, and I think they didn't have the juice to go at it in extra time. But it was definitely nice seeing extra time football being played in a different way, where
Yeah,
I like the game was still very open in extra time. Both teams running, sitting back to push for penalties and any of that. So, it was a very, very interesting game. Like, I really enjoyed that. So, yeah, and kudos to Spain, man. They're really
Yep.
good. Mateta really showed up this tournament. Like, I feel like I see him a little bit of a different light now going forward, where, obviously it's not like he's one of the best strikers in the world or anything, but I at first I thought it was just some random guy that didn't have much to him, but he seems like he can hold his own. And Oli says something
yeah.
else, man, bro.
That boy,
Oli says something
Hurricane. Hurricane. I'm just going to put this out there. Hurricane. If you don't win this La Liga next season with Olise behind
La
you, I
Liga.
else.
don't. Sorry, this
Honestly,
Bundesliga next
but,
season.
but I know the problem with Hurricane. The problem with Hurricane in that statement is if Hurricane would play as a striker, that would be great. But the problem is Hurricane might not even be the one at the end of those runs or passes that Olise will make because he would
Then
be
he
the
needs to retire,
one
man.
trying
Like
to.
he needs to retire
Yeah.
because I honestly can't. Do you know who Mateta is? Like in Crystal Palace, Mateta scored I think 10 goals or so
Oh
last
no,
season.
but Mateta bored. Especially towards the end of last season. Don't play. Oh,
That's why I said like
yeah,
10
oh
goals.
yeah, he bored.
He was really how would I put it now? His star shone more because of Olise and the other guy behind him.
Is it?
Izzy.
Easy.
They
Yeah,
both made him like something. Olise and Izzy, bro. They're making him
yeah,
like one
yeah,
random guy. And now he went into the Olympics, and then Olise has also assisted him in almost all his goals,
yeah.
feeding him
Like
their
he
passes,
finished
feeding
with
him
16
there.
goals.
And now they're carrying that same kind of creativity into Bundesliga with Hurricane. Like Hurricane has to pop. He has to
Wait,
pop, bro.
sorry. Mateta finished with 16 goals in the tournament.
In Prem, no, no, no,
Prem,
Prem last season. No, no.
no, I think in the tournament he has like maybe 5 goals or so because he had four at the semifinals.
Yeah,
At the semifinals he scored up to four. So
yes,
and he scored one today in the
yeah.
finals. So they probably
And
has like five.
Fernand Torres finished with I think 6, probably the most. But yeah, it was really, really, it was an amazing final. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, Justin,
Yeah.
what do
Me,
you think?
sorry, let me go.
Andrew, go, yeah,
For
Andrew.
me, I feel like Olise should be player of tournament. I don't know if they give those kind of awards in the Olympics or anything, but he was just amazing all through. Even in the France game, this when they were 3-1 down, he was the only one creating anything. Like
Yeah.
they were just like even the goal that that guy scored through a deflection
Oh
from Olise's free
yeah.
kick. That ball, he had a very, very little deflection. That ball
Yeah.
was entering.
Yeah, barely, yeah,
That's
barely.
just
He
good.
just took it. That guy's deflection just took it a little higher, but
Yeah,
he didn't
it was
change
going
the
in.
direction it was going in. Yeah,
Exactly. His left leg, amazing. Olise has shown us that his left leg is powerful. In Premier League, all his goals from outside the box, all those his left leg belters, they're insane. And I just feel like this Olympics was like his own crowning moment. It was like his beginning of his stardom. I think he's going to be a household name very soon. I feel like Madrid and all these other teams that went for other players and Bayern Munich went for him. Also,
yeah,
that teams they will regret that move, went for all these Endrick and all those other guys. Olise should have been the choice because he's an absolutely amazing baller from what I
yeah.
watched.
But I think
Um,
one of the problems people are facing with Olise, his
Physique
his wage requests were
is
insane.
high.
Like
Really?
over 300,000.
I mean, man, honestly, my opinion is not worth it now. He's worth close to that, but it's not worth it now. But I feel like eventually he will want that wage.
Yeah,
But yeah, all around it was an amazing competition. Spain just don't give up. I don't know how. They are the champions in every single football competition as we speak. I think they won the female one too. I don't know if they won the finals. I haven't checked. Can we confirm who won the Olympics females? I know they were in the finals.
yeah. I'm not sure actually.
Let me quickly do that confirmation.
Yeah,
But
but
yeah,
while
yeah. Tosin, you're
while you're
gone.
looking
Go on.
at that, I feel like um Spain, like you said, deserve a lot more credit from top to bottom. Like just whatever they're doing in that country and what they've been doing for a while with football has to be studied. Like literally, they just won the gold, in the Euros. Like, and they were clearly the best team, and they showed it again
Really.
in the Olympics that they are the best team in the world. Like under 23, like just overall, they are the best team in the world, and it was just fascinating to see the type of players they're able to develop within like the country, like, and they always show up. Like it's almost like every time you watch like Spain in a tournament, you're like, who is this player that they just brought out from like under 18? Like
Yeah,
I was watching the game today, and I'm like, these midfielders are like, where did they play? Like who are some of these guys? And honestly, props to France as well, because I know in the last tournament they definitely underperformed a lot, and to bring on like Henri to see them like win the silver medal. Like
yeah.
again, in football, we don't really look at it as a silver medal. Like if you don't win, you
You
lose.
find out you don't
Technically,
win.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's like
yeah,
a race where like the bronze winner and the silver medal winner, like they're like still excited and they're happy. Like
yeah, yeah,
in football, once you lose, like you're a loser. You're just as bad as the guys that came out in group
yeah.
stages.
I think Olympics is the only place they glorify second and third place in football,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like every other regular competition, once you lose, you lose. It doesn't matter that you came
World Cup,
to the final.
we refer it to now.
Not
Yeah, I
really.
guess.
Like
But
If an African team should become second, people will not be celebrating it.
I mean, yeah, Nigeria.
I'm trying to understand what's going
Yeah.
on here.
And then one thing I did want to add is like I don't know if you guys are aware of like the Desiree Doué guy. Like he was the right winger for France, or like right wing back
Oh, that black short guy,
with blonde hair.
bro, that guy is amazing, bro. He remind me of Vinny.
Bro, that guy, like every time I watched him touch the ball, I'm like, this guy is like insane. Like,
Yeah,
who is this guy?
he won the penalty now. That is
And I
wild.
feel like France probably had too many of those players where like they couldn't figure out like who do we play in these moments,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
for Spain, I feel like there's just so much structure within the team. They've all played with each other for so long. I feel like obviously you guys spoke of like Matete and stuff. Like he's a good player, but I can see how like a team like Spain they probably had this team for so many years that they played in under 18. They know like what they've all played together. They have like camaraderie. Like it's just there, and they know when it's time to get the job done. Like at
Yeah.
the end of the day, like they won 5-3. So as much as we want to say things like, "Oh, they were unlucky," this they hit the bar, whatever the case may be, like Spain, when they win, it's clear that they're the better team.
Yeah,
And
and
they showed that today.
And one last thing before we move on to the last this thing is to the point we're making, like even Cherky, when they brought on Cherky today, I'm like, that's another baller
Voila,
for
like
Leon. You know what I'm saying? That they have on their bench and he's a game changer and all that. And honestly, I almost feel like he should have gotten more minutes and all
yeah,
that. But
definitely more
again,
than 5 minutes. Definitely
they
more than
have
five
they,
minutes,
they
man.
just have a bunch of guys, sha, but
Yeah,
yeah.
but I
So
feel like
let me,
that's where Henry brings, like, if you're gonna go to extra time and you have the opportunity to bring on a game changing type of player, as a coach, it's a no brainer, right? Like a player that like Turkey that has that much talent, it's 15 minutes or 30 minutes. You can just give him that chance because everyone has tired legs. You can bring him on because even when he came on, he tried to make things happen, but like it was almost too late for that. So yeah, Andrew, what were you gonna say?
let's say, let me read all the football titles that Spain currently holds. Also, for confirmation, Spain women lost the finals to Germany
Wow, Germany. I
1-0.
know. Yeah,
So that's the only final that Spain
that would
national
hurt.
team
That would
has
hurt.
lost in like years. So far, at the moment, Spain are currently the holders of the men's Euros, women's World Cup, men's Olympics, men's Nations League, that's the UEFA Nations League, women's Nations League, men's under 19 Euros, women's under 19 Euros, and more. Can you imagine?
That's insane. That's insane
That
for
is
one country
that
to
is
hold all that.
ridiculous. That
Like
is
what?
that is when you
Like
say
what?
like you're the OG
They
of
are breeding
something.
football
Like
there.
like we're
Yeah.
the OGs of this sport. Like that's owning something, Like and
That's scary. And they have like their ex players. Most of these teams that are winning is the ex players that were recent winners from the Euros that we all watch, from that Spain that we all love. That's Iniesta, Torres. Torres is the coach of one of those teams. They spread them across.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
imagine Alonso leaves like Leverkusen now and he wants to coach. He will just probably just slot into one of these Spanish national teams and carry them to victory. That's how a system
that's how
works.
it's system exactly. I think Spain gradually like they're going to be more recognized as the home of football. They probably just don't have the funding compared to like obviously the Premier League, but based on the talent of players that we've seen from Spain, it is uncomparable to any other like country
I
that like
just I just read something now that made me laugh. Someone that says Spain is who England think they are.
for sure.
They say, "Oh, we're the home of football."
Yeah,
You,
for
yeah,
sure.
nothing,
For
nothing. But
sure.
yeah,
I agree with that statement. But
yeah.
yeah. But yeah, anyways, I think that just shows they have a system that works, right? And that's the go-to system. That's kind of like the foundation and framework for every footballing team in their country. And I think that's how it should be for any chance of success. So yeah.
So let's just do a brief high level on athletics, and because we might not have much time to discuss on athletics later on. So for athletics, so far there's been highlights. There's been Noah Lyles and his COVID. There's been Noah Lyles finally getting his gold. There's been countries that are winning their first ever gold medal in a sprint race. Like the country has never won a gold. Saint Lucia has never won a gold medal.
Yeah.
They're winning
Yeah.
their first ever gold medal in a sprint race. Botswana also
Yeah.
winning their first ever gold medal in athletics, and it's
Yeah.
gold. There's all these amazing stories here and there. And then there's the guy that broke. He didn't need to break the world record in pole vault. He did it. He has already won the gold already. I don't know if that makes sense. You've already won gold. You can go home. Everyone is like, guys, okay. It was literally the last event of the night. And he's like, I want to break the world record. And then he missed his first try. And everyone's like, okay, yeah, like, guys, okay, you missed, try again maybe next 4 years or maybe next year during the World Championships. He's like, no, I have two more tries. I want to break my own world record again. Like,
The
bro, you
Swedish,
don't
the
need to.
Swedish, the Swedish guy, yeah, the Swedish guy, yeah.
Like, he didn't need to, and he did it again. And then the last chance, sorry, he missed his second try. And on the third try, he broke his own world record
It was poetic,
again
man.
for no reason.
Yeah, it was
So things
poetic.
like that excites me. Also in the
I think he's only 18 or 19 as well.
yeah, he's very young. He's so young. Um, in the 400-meter hurdles, there's a girl called Sydney McLaughlin.
Yeah.
She just got married. I don't know her new last name, but she also has broken the world record 6 times. Like, there's no need. Honestly, if I'm racing against her, if I'm on the same heat or on the same, if I see her on my line, I'm just like, just run. I'm like, wow, Do you understand what it is to break your own
Six
record
times,
six times?
6 times is insane.
By the
Actually,
Like,
by the way, to the listeners, the name of the poll voter is Armand. I don't want to butcher his name, but Armand Duplantis.
Plant is here.
Yeah, yeah. So
But yeah, like she broke the world record again during the heats. Imagine you're about to compete and someone breaking world
during
record during the
heat.
heats. And then she now broke it again. And she's not breaking it by 1 second, 2 seconds. They're like 3 seconds, 4 seconds. So I'm just trying to imagine what the world record was before she became a sprinter. I want it to be when she leaves the sport.
yeah,
And
that's
the craziest part of the whole thing is it is hurdles. So it's like she's slower when she's running without the hurdles, and she's faster with it doesn't even
Yeah.
mathematically it doesn't
Apparently,
make
she
any
was
sense.
one. Apparently, her time was 0.2 seconds from qualifying her for regular 400 meters.
Regular, yeah. So
Like,
she's faster. I don't know.
do you know how insane that is?
yeah. I
Like,
Yeah.
think I think what's even funnier is just the fact that people that break their own records are pretty much like racing against themselves. Like literally, it's
Yeah.
like and I don't know what goes on behind the scenes, but it's like, have you already done this so you know you can, or do you just break these records as the competitions go on?
Me, I think
I
they're
think they
putting on a
have.
show for us. They know they can do this. They're just putting on a show for us because I don't think I was listening to one of Usain Bolt's interview like recently, and he said that 2008 he, as a human being, was his fittest he has ever been. That there was nothing in this world that he could not catch. Like if you put it in front of him, he's going to catch it. Like he's going to run and get it.
Yeah,
His mind was like sharp, and his coach told him, like, bro, you were training for Olympics, and his coach told him that guy, you're too fit. Take 2 days off. Before Olympics, no one takes days off. You are training 4 years straight, and his coach was like, guy, just go and rest. Like you're
yeah.
too fast. Like you're too sharp. And it was obvious because when he ran the world record breaking time, he slowed down. It
At the
was too
end,
fast.
yeah,
We all don't know what would have been if he ran it fully to the end. So he already knows that he can break that world record, right? He even said multiple times that he would have broken it, right? But I think it's just to put on that show for all of us to watch and see it, active, like actually happen is why they do all this. But I
yeah,
think that they know that they can break that record,
Yeah,
like
they
whatever
know
it
for
for
is.
sure.
sure. I don't
Yeah.
think any runner would ever reach the
Ah,
pace
well,
of Usain Bolt. Like I don't want to I'm not like a sightseer or whatever. Like I can't, like, I don't know, but honestly, just seeing the sheer level of like athleticism like he reached is insane. Like I just feel like, especially because he was a taller runner as well. Like I think he was like 6'4",
yeah,
6'4", 6'5", or something like that.
yeah,
But like all those races, I think even the runners knew that, like, okay, well, like I just have to go for the silver or like the bronze
Second
medal.
year
Like
now,
this
second
guy,
place.
this
yeah.
guy
They
is
only
different from us. Like
they
that's how
went
they look
into the
at it.
races thinking and hoping that he got injured.
And
That's
it
like
was
their
100 and
hope.
200. Like it was a given. Like imagine
Yeah.
Yeah,
going like racing against a guy that you know is going to beat you in both races, because some of these races, like like the 200 um 200-meter race, like some runners have a bit more endurance that keeps them longer than like a 100-meter runner or whatever the case may be. But Usain Bolt, you just knew that when he got to like that 50 meters or whatever the case may be, like he like obviously he didn't have the best start ever, but there were like no flaws in like his technique of running, so I don't know if anyone could reach that. And back to like Noah Lyles, like we know he's fast, we know he's been through a lot, but like that, I think that's what makes people legends. That's what makes people like idolize. That's what makes people like, it's this like the greatest Olympian ever. Like people like Michael Phelps and stuff like that. Like even I feel like the Canadian guy, Degrassi, like he couldn't even like win a medal anywhere else except from the relay race. But you would think that, wow, this guy was like probably next up after Usain Bolt, but it just doesn't work like that. Like these
Yeah.
level
I
of
want to
athletes,
say
But I think
something.
he
I
has done
think
his part. I think the Garcia has done his part.
for
Like,
sure,
yeah,
for sure.
he's won gold in 200
yeah,
before.
yeah. I
So
think he has the
I
most.
think
I think he has second most medals of a track, whatever, after Usain Bolt.
Yeah,
Like medals,
probably
not
but
gold,
I
probably
think the
just medals.
expectation was that he would win 200 in this year's
in
race, and
this year,
he
yeah.
didn't
No,
even
no, no, I think
qualify.
Lyles though. Definitely not over Lyles for 200. Like Degrassi, like I feel like coming to these Olympics, no one was expecting him to win. Like if we're talking about like, oh, guys that are sitting down and analyzing each of these runners, their best times in the last year, Degrassi was not
Oh yeah.
up there for the guys that we thought was going to win. But I think the part of us that expected that was just okay, this guy used to won with Usain Bolt. You get what I'm saying? Like he used to come second to Usain Bolt. So he's no longer here. So you're next up essentially. But I guess his body has just his body isn't just he's just not where he used to be at
Bro,
that
he
at
didn't even
back then.
qualify. Like I know
I
he
think
Yeah,
the
didn't
last
qualify, but
Olympics was for him, the Tokyo Olympics, the one during COVID, and
yeah,
he didn't get the gold in 100 meter, but he got the gold in 200. But this one is not for him.
yeah.
This one
He's done.
the way they marketed it was for Noah Lyles, and
Yeah,
honestly, that race, the 100-meter race, the whole that day was just that's an amazing day for. I can't imagine how he would have felt that day. Yes, he didn't get the gold in 200 meter, but for the 100, I can't imagine how it would have felt like
yeah.
finally getting a gold medal, in
100.
Olympics,
Yeah,
and the way you got it with like barely like like I don't know 5,000th of a second gap. That's
yeah,
insane. Like all
yeah,
this kind of storyline was amazing for him, right? So it's good, and I hope that next Olympics, like Noah Lyles comes again and he does what he does. Because honestly, when Bolt was leaving athletics, we that grew up watching Bolt, we didn't really know much about athletics before Bolt, and we're thinking, how will it be after Bolt? Like, because the previous champions, all those Michael Johnson, Asafa Powell, all those guys, they were not marketable people. They don't
yeah,
come out to the
yeah,
camera. They don't do anything. They just run and go. Who cares? But Noah Lyles has brought back that fun into athletics, right? So
yeah,
I feel like if he can keep at it, he's not the tallest. I think he's like 6 foot or maybe 5'11". If he can keep at it and keep that entertainment, keep this tweeting thing going on, keep the conversations happening, even if he doesn't beat Bolts, but he will leave a legacy that we will not forget. He will have he'll become a household name that we will all not forget easily.
for
I
sure.
feel
That's what
like
that Botswana guy was saying now.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
when
Tobogo.
he asked
Yeah,
him,
yeah.
yeah, when they asked him about it, he was like, bro, like, he said, man, I don't know, I'm not with the antics and everything.
Yeah,
So like, if you're talking about the face, like, Laos is someone that would people would
easily
fit
be the
that,
face. Yeah,
not me, right?
I
So
like the little rivalry that's going on there.
I love it
Yeah,
actually
like
because like
we
that's what we
that's
typically
live
don't
what's
see.
for.
total.
Like
Yeah,
That's what yeah, man, that's what I'm here
yeah,
for,
we
man.
yeah we
respect.
we typically don't see that with runners. It's like everyone just runs their own quote unquote, like no pun intended. Everyone just runs their own race and keeps it moving, right?
Yeah,
Like no one
yeah,
really talks shit to each other and stuff like that. But it's good to see like a little bit of like fiery exchange between those two guys. Like hopefully
Yeah,
there's more to come over the years. And congrats to Tobogo as well, man. Like
yeah. Tobago's
yeah.
story. I heard he
amazing.
lost his
Just
mom
yeah,
a year ago, so it's good that he was able to like have a host like a full circle moment. I'm sure he would have dedicated the rest to his mom. So obviously that was amazing. And
Yeah,
on the women's side, as usual, there's always drama in Olympics. Is the only competition that deals with athletics that always has drama. On the women's side, the reason why we didn't see the fastest woman in the world was because they didn't let her enter the gates. Just think about that for a second. Like, imagine you're Usain Bolt. Her name is Shelina Fraser Price. She's Jamaican. Imagine she's as popular as Usain Bolt. She has the world record in sprinting. She has the most gold. She's been in 4 Olympics. This is supposed to be her last Olympics. All those kind of things. Anyways, imagine you're coming in with your bag and they say you can't enter, and you're like, why? They're like, oh, we changed the rules. Like, if you didn't come in with your boss or if you didn't sleep in the Olympic Village, you can't enter from this gate. And she's like, okay, how am I supposed to enter? I have to. I'm old. I just had a child. I have to warm up my body and I have to actually race. And they're like, we don't know. We have to call someone, call someone. While that's going, the people that she's competing with are already warming up and getting ready.
yeah,
After a couple of hours, they let her in. And it's like, bro, I have to warm up. I have like 30 minutes to run.
yeah,
I'm not as young as these 18-year-olds. How
yeah,
am I going to warm up my engine to join them and make first? Like, you're setting me up for failure.
yeah,
The reason why she didn't stay in the Olympic Village is because, as I said, she's a superstar. If you've been following the Olympics, people have been going crazy when they see her. taking selfies and all of that. She can't sleep in the Olympic Village. She can't go with the Olympic bus. It's like telling Ronaldo or LeBron James to sleep inside a hotel where everybody knows like they have to be like secretly. They have to move in silence, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So it was kind of sad that all that happened. It also happened to Shakari Richardson, and she was also locked out. But because of who she is and how she has a point to prove, and she was not at the last Olympics, she
yeah.
said
She
she must
can't.
run, and she
Yeah, she
ran.
can't afford to.
And
Yeah,
you know what happened? She got second place. So all this drama eventually pushed the gold to a country that literally no one was looking at, St. Lucia, and that's how they won their first ever medal in the Olympic Games, which is amazing. And kudos to what's her name now, Julian, as an amazing race, and I hope that she can keep it up, and they can. I'm just tired of that domination from the US and Jamaica in athletics. I like to see other countries
yeah.
get it.
When
Amazing to see this year. It was a bit shared across board. I think that kind of wraps it up for athletics. I'm sure there's like other races that we didn't talk about, but we're
Yeah,
crunch for time.
yeah. But
yeah,
last thing, I think since we're all in Canada, congrats to Canada on the 4x100 relay race. Like honestly, who would have thought? Because none of the Canadians qualified for like the 100 meters. So
anything here, man.
True, true,
they,
true.
they barely did well in anything running. Outside of the 4x1 they won. So it's just like, yeah, like we probably didn't see that coming, but
yeah,
nah, like
that
kudos to
just yeah,
them for
it
sure.
just shows Canada, man,
That
very team
reminds me.
oriented type of
That
country, man.
reminds me. Canada did something very like crazy during this Olympics. Do you follow the story of the Canadian women's soccer team
But yeah,
Yeah,
with their
yeah.
drone and all? Do you know how insane that is? Like
Like
this is not super strikers though.
what is stupid? What is stupid moment to try something like that?
yeah.
You
So
know,
so
Oh,
so so stupid. Like
like
and bro, my thing is like with soccer, right? Or with football, like really and truly, I don't personally I don't believe there's any real advantage you're getting by seeing a training session, in my opinion. Do you get what I'm saying? Like
yes.
people study how people play on the pitch 90 minutes to see what their idea of football is. So I don't think there's anything groundbreaking you're getting during their training that is going to make you beat them all of a sudden if you were not going to. The only thing I can imagine you get an advantage out of is if you're going to mark out certain players on your team a certain way, maybe that's information that can help you ahead of time to say, okay, they want to mark us this way to make it harder for
yeah,
us, and this is how we're going to counter that. But regardless of that, I really and truly, I don't think you spying on their training session is doing much for you, especially when you're weighing the pros and cons of, okay, if we get caught doing this, like what can potentially happen to us versus what do we stand to gain if we get away with it. So it's just all around stupid.
yeah,
So you're in the Olympics. You're not playing in like some random. Yeah, everybody. The eyes of the world is there. So like this is not hidden. Everybody's
Yeah,
watching. Like
so
everybody
stupid.
watching training sessions. There's people on the road that flew miles away to just watch athletes do whatever. So people will see the drone fly from your camp to their camp and back. Like I was like, what the hell is this? Is so dumb.
I know, and just the level of like technology that a country like France would have to identify something like that. Like, why would you even try that there? Like, that's like one of the worst places you could have tried to do something like that. And
It
to
was
kind of
Brazil,
experience,
maybe you would have flagged.
yeah,
Maybe.
yeah, something like Brazil or like
Because
maybe even
everybody's playing
something
ball everywhere. You can be like, I'm just flying
like
my drone everywhere.
like no one, it's not like it's just they're not just as advanced. I would say. Do you know what I'm saying? Like
Hmm.
France, we know with technology and design and things like that, they're very well advanced to like spot or catch things like that. So it was very, very stupid on Canada's part. And like I already said, just to add on to that, I know we're wrapping up here, but honestly, it's not like a fight where like you look at how like your opponent is training to fight you. Like, what do you think is going to happen when you watch the film? Like,
Yeah,
why don't you
man.
just go watch their old games, like games that they played
Like watch
before?
their
Like,
watch their old games,
I don't
bro.
Because
understand. Like, what do you want to
it is the
gain?
women's team, so it is their first team that comes for Olympics. It's not like football, sorry, like the males team where they bring on under 23 or a dream team of like a mixture of players I've not played before.
Yeah,
It's the women's team. it's the same team that played in the World Cup, the best players of the country that are female that you send for the Olympics. So it's the same thing we've been seeing for years. Like you don't need to watch any clips.
Yeah.
It was just embarrassing all around. But at the end of the day, Canada ended up with so many goals. There was a girl in swimming that won 3 goals. Congrats to her. I can't remember her last name now.
Her name is
Was it
Summer. Her name is
yeah,
Summer.
Summer something.
Congrats to
She did
her.
amazing. There was a guy that won what's it called now? Hamatro Gold, Canada as well. Um, there was also the guy that won judo, gold in judo, first ever gold in judo or any combat sport for Canada. Like that was also amazing. He won it off the other part. The other player fouled out, and then there was another
Yeah.
Canadian that won a gold. I can't remember. Am I missing any other gold? I think we have
No,
like
currently,
seven
currently,
golds.
currently we have 7, and then in total, I think we have about 23 medals altogether. But like the U.S. is first. I think China is second.
Yes.
But
US, man.
I
US
mean,
and China.
we are sort of kind of holding our own, if you want to say that.
Yeah,
You
we
know what I'm
are.
saying?
Yeah.
Like,
There's people that have 0 gold, 0 medals. So we know them. They are somewhere in Africa, west of Africa.
yeah,
We talk
yeah.
about
But
them.
also, like, I think just again, just to note some of these things, I feel like the fact that China are second is so insane because we know that most of the people that are actually competing for China are like relatively like fully Chinese. Like they're not like mixed or anything like that. Like it's literally people that are from China that are born in China that maybe don't train there, but we know like like their full heritage is like from China. Like so I just think they're doing a lot better than most countries in that department. Like not to say that because you're not white, you're not like American or whatever the case may be. Like it's just something that I've noticed, and I think like they're doing an
Yeah.
amazing
I
job
mean
as a
that's
country.
fair, and like to
No,
just
I
add
mean,
context there is like the amount of Yoruba people I've seen running for European countries is
It's sickening.
is
It's
crazy, and
but
sickening,
they've
honestly.
won they've won medals for those
and they've won
countries as well.
Yeah.
medals. Even the Igbo people
Yeah,
were winning medals. But sorry, China always ends top 3 in all Olympics, like for like the last 6 Olympics. They're always
yeah,
top
I
3.
know,
The
but I
only
am
reason why
saying,
they are
yeah.
second now is because people have forgotten Russia is banned from Olympics.
Yeah.
People
oh
for
yeah,
yeah,
that's
Russia usually is
true.
first or second. They're always
That's true.
challenging the
That's true.
US.
That's true. That's
But
true.
So
Russia is
That's
that
banned
true.
because of the war.
that is a podcast fun fact, by the way, for people that don't know. Like Russia
Russia is banned.
Russia
People
is banned
forgot
from the
about them, but
Olympics.
yeah,
You
they're banned.
forgot. You forgot for real, man.
Completely. Last Olympics, they were banned, but the players or the athletes they created a federation for their own performance, and they
Yeah,
called it the something 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 of the Russian Kiniko.
yeah.
So they were able to represent. But now, after they attacked Ukraine, they were like,
Nah.
you're not even smelling anything. All of you, so if I have Russian blood, get out. So they didn't let them come in. So yeah, that's why they're not there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
Well.
think we can wrap it up on this note. Was
Yeah.
an amazing episode, very educative, very enlightening. Um, yeah,
Yeah.
you guys
Yeah.
should tick
So
all the
yeah.
buttons, share, subscribe, tell a friend, comment, do all that stuff. What you guys have to
Yeah.
say?
Yeah.
And
And we'll see you guys soon.
yeah, definitely. And you guys look out for our challenges coming up soon. Stay tuned. That's going to be very interesting. And yeah, cheers.
Yeah. Peace, guys.
Peace.